Hello and welcome to Just a Girl and Her Firefighter. I'm Kristi Hilmer, your host. Grab your favorite drink, whether it's coffee, fizz, or maybe something else, and let's dive into the wild, wonderful world of first responder life. We are here to swap stories, share laughs, and tackle those "did that just really happen" moments. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just figuring this all out, this is the place for you. So kick back, get comfy, and let's have some fun. Welcome. Thank you for hopping on today. I am thrilled because I just get to meet so many new people from all the different places, and it's so fun. So today we are chatting with a fellow firewife, Cassandra. And is that what you go by, or do you have a nickname?
I actually go by Cassie.
Okay, I was
I
like, most Cassandras are like Cassie or something like that. So we have Cassie today, and she has a fun, unique, kind of different perspective because her husband travels out of state as a firefighter. And so I'm really excited to hear kind of how that makes a difference, family life. She makes bread, which I'm terrible at, so I'm very excited to hear all about the things. So welcome, and why don't you tell us a little bit about your family?
well, thank you so much for having me. Um, so my husband and I met like December of 2015, and then we started dating a few months later, and then we got engaged a few months after that,
You
and then
know,
we
when you
got married
know,
a
you
year
know.
later. We did. I was 22, just turning 23 when I met him, and he was 26. So yeah, I don't know, it was just one of those things.
That's awesome. A little Hallmark story there. That's always been the joke. Now that it's because we're recording it in Christmas time, this will come out a little bit later. But that's my joke now for everything my husband and I will talk about. Like, oh, it's Hallmark. And then I was talking to a friend the other day, and she's like, I had a Lifetime movie life, and then it turned into a Hallmark movie life and all the
Oh
different
no.
things. But anyway. Okay, so you met, just knew, got married very quickly, and he was already a firefighter at the time, right?
Yes, he was already a firefighter. So I didn't go through fire academy. I didn't go through paramedic school. I didn't go through any of that with him. He was just
Hmm.
already a paramedic and a firefighter. And then a few months later, after we were dating, he got annexed. He worked for the city and then got annexed by the county.
And I
So that
bet
was
that
only
was, yeah, a different transition.
a little bit, yeah.
Did like shift change or like what were
They
kind of the
did, they
differences?
Their schedule changed. So I can't remember what the schedule was like when they were on. I think it was like the 4896.
Okay, that's what we're on. It's my favorite.
Really.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I liked it at the time from what I remember. And then when he went to the county, it was, I think it's called the Kelly. Is it the one day on, one day off?
Oh, yes, that's my least favorite.
It was horrible because
Yeah.
he worked at a really busy station.
Hmm.
And so when he would get home, it was like, he was tired and he needed to sleep. So I really was just going days without really hanging out with him, like on his days off. And, we were newly married, we didn't have kids yet. And I really didn't understand the whole like, they're tired, they were up all night, like,
Hmm.
don't bug him, kind of like maybe just let him get some sleep. I was very
Right.
new to it.
Yes. Yeah. Like I don't understand. I think that what was so hard for the Kelly schedule, at least for me, because I've talked to people that like it. But for us, part of it was a busy station. We had three kids under the age of 5. So that was its own element. But it was, he was home, but not home. And so
Hmm.
mentally, it's easier for me if I can't physically see him. And it's like,
Yes,
okay, you're just at the station. When you're home, you can be home. So I think that's why I like the 4896 so much, is
right.
because he's just gone and then he comes home. Maybe that first half a day he needs some readjustment. But it's not this constant, like you're here, but you're not here kind of thing. And so I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of the Kelly schedule.
I was very grateful when the schedule changed.
Yes. So is he back to 4896 or do they do like 24s?
They call it a modified Kelly. So,
Okay.
and because he commutes, he kind of tweaks his schedule a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So if he didn't mess with his schedule and didn't get forced in a perfect world,
Right.
it would be 2 on, 2 off, 2 on, 4 off, and then 2 on, 2 off, 2 on, 8 off.
Okay, to where you get the big chunks. So that
Yeah,
probably he can manipulate it to get some decent chunks of time with commuting.
yes. So what he tries to do is do 6 days on, 6 days off, which seems kind of like a lot, but we really like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then now you have kids, I believe. So fast forward, you're married, and now what are the ages of your kids?
So we got married and then we had 3 kids, back to back. Our oldest is 4, and then we have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old.
That's awesome and busy.
Very busy.
Yes. Are
It's
they
great.
girls, boys? Mixture?
So the 2 oldest are boys, and then the baby is a girl.
Okay. How fun. So what's that like?
It's a lot. It's my house is chaos all the time, but I love it. I love it so much. I grew up as an only child. I do have half those siblings, but I never grew up with them. And I love having a big family.
Hmm.
That was one thing when my husband and I did get married. We said if we have kids, we want to have a big family.
Oh, fun. I know we have 3 kids too. And it's a lot of fun. Like it's hard and it's stressful and it's chaos. But I was thinking the other day, I was like, it's only, I mean, yes, it's chaotic, but it can get worse in my mind when I try to make the goal peace and quiet. It's like,
Yes,
why do we think like, oh, my goal is even the week, right? It's like our goal is to get to the weekend and then we have sports on the weekend. And then we, go back and forth through that. And it's like, how about we just enjoy the sports on the weekend? This is what we've chosen. Hang out with the families. I've been thinking about that a lot of like, why is it that our goal is to not be in perpetual motion or not be in chaos? Because if that's our goal, we're going to be so frustrated. Plus, when I do have days of nothing, I don't enjoy them. I'm like, well, this is
right,
boring.
right. My kids are not in school age yet. My oldest is in
Hmm.
preschool and he goes 2 days a week. So we're not in they're in
Like
school and
scheduling.
we want to
Hmm.
make it to the weekend. We we just started preschool with our oldest, and then he just finished his first soccer season.
Oh,
So
fun.
we just, are dipping our toes in the school and sports life.
Which is a fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's very full, but it's fun.
Yeah, I bet.
None of my kids did soccer, so I have no experience in soccer, but I feel like soccer is the
Okay.
most normal sport to start with.
Yeah, it felt very normal. My son, he wants to do it all.
Hmm.
He his grandma, so my husband's mom, they live in the same town as us. They live like 5, 10 minutes away.
Oh,
She was
nice.
really big on soccer. So my son, who absolutely adores her, like, I want to play soccer. And then
Hmm.
he watched like the baseball games on TV and he's like, I want to play baseball. So he's
Hmm.
gonna do T-ball next. And then they have like these electric basic bikes and
Okay.
they want to ride the dirt bikes. They're just not quite tall enough for the 50s. So
Yeah.
he's like, I want to race dirt bikes. Like they just want to do it all, especially my oldest. And we're like, trying to prepare for all of that. And I'm like, how am I going to do
Right.
all of this? Especially when my husband's at work.
Yeah, it does get a little tricky. I'm not gonna lie. Especially when all 3 of them are then in a sport. You're like, okay, that's where you really learn to build your community. And it's always like every beginning season, I'm like, let me meet the parents. Who are the couple of families that we love that we can carpool or help out with or take to games or take to practices and all that different stuff. Because with 3 kids, it is, at least I have not found a way to be in 3 places at once.
Oh my goodness.
If somebody knows how to do that, they should tell me
Yes.
because that would save me a lot of stress. So, but
Right.
we figure it out. And then it kind of goes back and forth between the guilt of not being there for every single one, or you've
Right.
been there for your oldest and now you have the third in there. And so it's different and you're going between all the different things. But I look at it and I think it helps one to build their character. And it
Yeah.
also shows them how to be sufficient, but then the sacrifice part of it, like that's part of being in a big
Yeah.
family is you're not always at every single little thing. But I definitely go back and forth of, well, I'm not here
Yeah.
for this one. I have to choose which volleyball game to go to, or, all that different
Right.
stuff. So, well, anyway, moving on from sports, because I could talk about
Okay.
that forever, because that's where we are in life. How did you get into your business? So you bake, is it bread and bagels, or what exactly is it that you do?
Yes. I bake sourdough bread and then
Ah,
I make Greek yogurt bagels.
oh, nice. So then there's the protein.
Yes, I have a lot of people ask me, why don't you do sourdough bagels since you make sourdough bread? And the simple answer is I think the Greek yogurt bagels taste better, so I like to make them.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I would think it's more protein than sourdough, right?
Yeah, you get, the good gut health stuff from the
Yeah.
Greek yogurt. So they're just very light and fluffy. And I could talk about bread all day and just nerd out on it. So I won't do that
That's
to you.
awesome. How long have you been baking?
I learned how to make sourdough about a year ago. Um, I have a lot of friends that make it, and
Yeah.
I was like, well, why not give it a shot? Um, I was tired of, we go through so much bread and bagels in
Hmm.
our house just in general. And I just thought, why don't I just make it from home? I say that like it's the easiest thing, but
I know
it
I
just
did a sourdough adventure, and we'll talk about that in a second. And I'm not doing
okay.
sourdough anymore, but continue.
It
And then
took
you
me
turned it into
a
a
minute.
business?
Yeah, so it took me a minute and to really get the hang of it. And along with that process, I was just making a ton of bread and I was making more than we needed in our house, which was shocking. That's how much bread I was making. So I was just giving it
Yeah.
away. I was giving it to family and friends, whoever would take it. And then I had a few family and friends say, "Oh, you should sell this." And I said, "No, we live in a small town. Like everybody sells bread, or everybody,
Hmm.
sells baked goods. Like nobody's gonna want to buy from me." But um, I had a really good mom friend group
Hmm.
like coordinator, this girl in town, and she asked if because I was kind of selling on my Instagram stories just here and there,
Okay.
nothing major. She asked if I wanted to be a part of our town's first Friday at the night market, and
Oh,
she's asked if I wanted to
nice.
be the featured vendor. So I said, yeah, sure. And then she kind of really helped me get my foot out there. I mean, I had the support of a lot of family and friends that had been encouraging me to do it, and she
Hmm.
was kind of like the one that really shoved me out the door to do it.
Right. Like, here's your avenue. And
Yeah.
then you did the rest by baking and all of that. So, I think we should touch on this subject. One, sourdough. You should give us all your sourdough tips. But
Okay.
two is starting a business or doing something when we are married to a first responder and have such an unpredictable schedule. I think oftentimes we can tell ourselves we can't, or we have to always be available because we're kind of that person that's home or present more. Even if we're working an 8 to 5 job, it's typically us that pick up the kid from school because they really can't leave the fire station. So,
Right.
how was that transition? And what would you tell people that are like, I've had this idea and I feel like I can't quite do it because of their schedule or the lifestyle that we have?
The way that I did it, or
Yeah. Or kind of what have you seen even benefits of like, this has maybe fulfilled another part that motherhood hasn't, or any kind of part of how this has started or developed to give encouragement to other people that maybe are either just building a business or wanting to.
So, I guess after I had my first child, I became a stay-at-home mom.
Hmm.
He was a COVID baby, so it wasn't. I didn't go back to work, and I just been
Yeah.
a stay-at-home mom since then. And I think like just the time management really is what I've struggled with. I still struggle a little bit with it because when my husband is home, I'm like, okay, I want to put everything away and I'm like, let's
Hmm.
just all hang out with dad because he's home. And since starting this, I have, deadlines that I have to make or that I committed
Hmm.
to that I really need to make sure that I commit to those. And it's really just been about time management. If you can find the time to do it when you want to. If you want to be present with your firefighter when he's home, then you need to work around his schedule.
Right.
Or,
Structure your business plan accordingly.
yes,
Hmm.
exactly. And on, um, when I do like a first Friday or something, if he is there to help me set up my booth, then like that's great. It's less
Hmm.
time that I have to set it up. And when he's not there, then I know that it takes me a little bit longer to set up. And I'll, depending if I have a friend there or not with me, then I will be by myself or have my
Right.
kids running around, then that's what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just flexibility.
Yes, yes,
Flexibility in this life, hands down, especially then when we've got other responsibilities. So, okay.
right.
Well, I know so many people make sourdough bread. I
Yes.
was given a starter. I did
Okay.
not ask for this starter. It was from a friend, and she's a fellow firewife. Our husbands work at the same station, and I had been talking about it, and she was like, "It's not that hard. It's not that hard. You can do it." And she sent me on Marco Polo. She sent me like all the instructions and videos and all the different
Hmm.
things, and I named it Sally, the sourdough, and I think that's what I named it. I killed it, so I could have killed Sally.
Oh no.
And it was going well. And then we had a hurricane. And so it was not refrigerated anymore. So I had to keep feeding it. And we had like
Right.
no power for 4 days, something like that. So Sally was very large and there was a lot of sourdough. And I even made cinnamon rolls with it in the barbecue because I was like, I don't know what to do with all this stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's just sitting there in my fridge and I need to feed it again. But once you get in the rhythm, it wasn't too terrible. It's just
Right.
figuring out what the rhythm is because you have to set it for whatever the fancy words are for all of it. But what are your biggest sourdough tips for the people out there that make sourdough and have stuck with it, unlike me?
Well, feeding it once a day, if you're going to leave it on your counter, just make sure you feed it. It's okay if you don't use the discard. I have discard in my fridge and I save it for if I try to make something with it. But if you have to throw it in the trash, a lot of people will be like, oh, don't do that. But it's okay. You can throw some of it in the trash. It's just flour and water. Um,
Yeah.
and
How long
then,
is it good in the fridge? Because mine has been in the fridge for a few months. Can you feed it and like bring it back to life?
yes, I think as long as you have, a lid tight on it in
Yes,
the
it's in
fridge,
a lid
you
in a
should be
mason
good.
jar.
It might take a little while to like get it strong and bubbly again, but that's okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try it again. We'll
Keep it
see.
in a warm spot. I mean, you guys are in a warm area, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't get too cold
Well,
there.
right now it was 39 degrees today. Like that's cold here in Texas.
That is very cold.
Yes. But it's supposed to be like not 90. What is it supposed to be? I think we are supposed to get in 70. But anyway, we're in like our month or two of cold and then we go back to warm.
Yeah. I keep mine on the counter next to my stove and oven, so it gets a little bit warmer. I had a
Yeah.
friend say she keeps hers on her window, and she's like, I don't know why it just wasn't rising. And I said, it's too cold right there. You got to move it.
Mm,
A lot of
interesting
people want it on the window because it looks pretty there, but mine's all just tucked by the stove.
because it's warmer. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
That's a good tip. Okay, well, now we'll go back to fire.
Okay.
Got distracted by sourdough. Um, okay, so over kind of the course of the last few years, being married, new transitions, kids, commuting, all of that. What is something that has surprised you that you're like, I did not know, or even if I was explained this, I didn't understand it until you lived it?
That the schedule, even after all these years, is just so unpredictable.
Hmm.
And I think even with the holidays here, that you don't have to celebrate the holidays on the actual holiday. It's okay to celebrate it another day, and
Absolutely.
to not get disappointed by it. I just look at it, there's certain things that really suck that, that he will miss every once in a while. But
Hmm.
things like Christmas or birthdays or whatever, they can be celebrated with them at the station or on another day. And that's
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. I remember oftentimes Thanksgiving, we're either at the station or we're celebrating it a different day. And I remember one time we celebrated it before Thanksgiving and we couldn't
Hmm.
actually go to the station. I can't remember for whatever reason it was. And like we went and watched a movie on Thanksgiving or,
Yeah.
did a couple errands and it was like, this is kind of nice. Like the whole world is baking and stressed all day and we are
Hmm.
doing whatever. So just having a
Yeah.
different perspective that it's not the date on the calendar that actually matters. It's the traditions that can be on another day.
Yeah. My husband was supposed to have Thanksgiving off this year,
Mm,
and we were just gonna do it our family at home, which never happens. We normally do like a big Thanksgiving,
yeah.
and we'd already gotten the turkey and I'd gotten all the sides and everything. And then he called me. I was on my way to the grocery store to get like a few more things. He called me and was like, I'm so sorry, I gotta work Thanksgiving now. I was like,
Oh,
no. And he was home the day before Thanksgiving. So he was able to grab, the turkey that we already had defrosting in the fridge and all of that and bring it to
yeah.
the station. And then we celebrated with some other family. And then we went to the station and had Thanksgiving there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about kind of that pivot and improv and last
Yes.
minute adjustment. I feel like we get
Hmm.
really good at that in
We do.
this
Yeah.
lifestyle of like,
Hmm.
okay, well, that's okay. It sucks for a minute and then we move right
Move
along.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, okay, these are the circumstances. What can we do with them instead of living in that, oh my gosh, this sucks, and then having a miserable Thanksgiving.
Right. I think definitely having more of a positive outlook on the whole
Hmm.
situation really helps. Like you just said, like instead of saying this sucks, this Thanksgiving is ruined, I was looking
Hmm.
forward to you being home, just kind of having a spin on it, like, well, our plans changed and we're gonna do the best that we can with it. And the kids still had fun. They got to ride their bikes at the station and
Yes,
brought like
absolutely.
games and stuff like that for them to play. So they still had a good time. And to them, it's kind of normal, so it's okay.
Absolutely. I know we had this Thanksgiving, my husband transitioned to a new department. And so he was like, okay, there all the families are coming for Thanksgiving. And like, that's my jam. Like, I usually am the
Yeah,
one that's coordinating it, like bringing it.
yeah,
But this is a new station. And so I was like, I don't want to step on any toes or just come like
yeah.
barreling in. And because I can be a lot sometimes.
That's
But
okay.
he got it confused. They had a family day for like an award ceremony or something the week before. And he
Okay.
had told us we weren't to come to that. So he had like confused them. And
Oh no.
so I get a message from him Thanksgiving morning, like, whoopsie, like no families are actually coming. We're not doing Thanksgiving at the fire station. And I
Oh
didn't plan
no.
anything else for the kids or anything like that. So I was like, okay, well, can we come stop by and say hi? So we still did that. And then we had to pivot. But there's about 5 minutes where I'm like, this is super sucky. Like, we have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
We have nothing to
No.
do. If I had known, we would have done something different. But then,
Yes.
like, okay, we're all done. What's the circumstances? So we just had like a picnic on the living room floor and watched Christmas movies and ate snacks. I was like, it's a snack day, kids. And my
I
oldest
love
is
that.
almost 14. She's like, yeah, uh-huh, right, mom. But like, we got to pivot somehow. We got to change this
Yeah.
because nothing is open. But anyway, yes, like things are going to come up. And
Yeah.
sometimes it ends up that those are the most memorable things our kids remember. It's like, do you remember that Thanksgiving or that Christmas we had to do or blah, blah, blah. So
Right. And I'm sure
absolutely.
they had a good time.
We'll see. I'm sure they did. I mean, it's not every day I let them eat snacks on the couch, so
Yeah.
that was different. Okay. Well, maybe we'll end with this last question and then we're going to do some rapid fire and
Okay.
trivia. We're adding trivia to season 2, and it's
Okay.
terrifying because I don't know any of them. And I had my husband
Fun. I
like
probably
list
don't
out.
know either.
I know, it's terrible. I'm like, we really do pay attention to you guys. I promise. Um, so something that we did last season that I loved and I'm hoping to continue into this season is talking about like what would you love for the outside world to understand about first responder life? And that can be in any direction you want to take it.
Something I wish that the outside world maybe got more is that, um, this is kind of a lifestyle for our families. And
Mhm.
we, I love all the friendships that I have and like family relationships too that I have outside of just our immediate family with our firefighter. But um, sometimes, when he's home, we just want to have family time together. Or
Mhm.
sometimes it's easier to hang out with another fire family, um, or another fire wife just because I don't have to go through the explaining everything, or they just automatically understand,
Mhm.
everything that's going on, which can make things easier for us. And it's not that, you know, what am I trying to say? It's not that we don't want the help, because like taking the help, has been
Mhm.
something that's been hard. But when I have like people that don't know the fire life offer help, it's sometimes they don't know how to offer help.
Mhm.
So sometimes it could just be uh, one other fire wife texting me at 5 o'clock saying, "Hey, do you have dinner plans?" No, the day got ahead of me, and she's like, "Is your husband working?" Yeah. Okay, come over. I order pizza, and it's just sometimes it's just easier to do that, and
Absolutely. Yeah, we've had many, many of those nights, or it's like, okay, let's get together, and it's like picnic for the kids, and we are doing a like throw together charcuterie or whatever it is, but just
yeah,
having kind of that company and fast, easy. Yeah, that's awesome. That's very cool.
yeah. And that also, my husband does exist. I have like a lot of new
Yes.
friendships since moving. I'm sure you do too.
Yes.
And like especially, just with the new friendships, they're like, "Oh, like where's your husband?" Like, "He's at work." And it's like,
Hmm.
"Cassie, it's been, a couple of years now. Are you sure you have a husband?" Like, yes.
Yes, I am
He's-
sure the kids look just like him.
yeah.
100%. Absolutely. It's funny how often that comes up. Like that is something I never would have thought I would have had to explain. And I think it
Yeah.
also comes with in a corporate world potentially, like if somebody's choosing work over family, it can seem like they're doing that, choosing work over family, or they're working 14-hour
Yeah.
days to close some deal or whatever it is. But it just so happens that they may catch us on the 2 48-hour shifts they have that month, or,
Mhm.
where it
Yeah.
seems like they're choosing work over family. And it's really not that. It's just that their work is 48-hour shifts or whatever it is. So, and it just so
Right.
happens it's scheduled on the days all the things happen.
Yep. Especially with families who get the weekends off, like every single weekend
Mm-hmm.
off, and they plan things on the weekend. Our husbands are usually working
Mm-hmm.
maybe two of those weekends or more, who knows?
Yeah, or
So,
one half of one of them, or yeah, where it's always
yeah.
like that stretch because ours rotates. And so it'll be like, okay, really for the next 6 weeks or whatever it is, you're working on a Monday or a Saturday or, just however the rotation works. It seems like there's
Right.
always a string of them or overtime or any of that stuff. So, Okay, well, that was awesome. And hopefully now we have sourdough experts
Hopefully.
after this podcast. I just might start mine again. Anyway, okay.
You should.
I know. And then the scoring, I can't do that. We were talking about that Bible study the other day. Because one gal was super excited. She figured out how to make all the designs. And my designs look like a kindergartner has done it. And like half of the bread is this way, like way up high, and the other, it's terrible. I don't even. So I have a couple of the rapid fire, and then we'll go into
Okay.
trivia.
Okay.
I guess they're word, I don't know what they're called. Maybe this is trivia. But would you rather wear turnout gear to a date night or a firehouse t-shirt to a wedding?
Um, I'd rather wear a Firehouse t-shirt to a wedding.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do either one. I feel like,
No.
yeah, if I wore like turnout gear on a date night, I think I would just, it would be so funny. I don't know. Anyway, okay. I don't know that I have an answer for this one either. If firefighters competed in the Olympics, what would their gold medal event be?
Oh, no, maybe like throwing a ladder. I
Right?
don't know.
Making a ladder look lighter than it looks.
I have no idea.
I asked my husband these the other day, and he was like, pickleball. He's like, all of the firefighters play pickleball. I'm like, really? That's
Oh
a
my
thing?
gosh.
Anyway. Okay, last one, and then we'll go to trivia or the other kind of trivia, whatever it's called. What is the weirdest item you have found in his pockets?
Um, I wouldn't call it weird, but I do wash a lot of Zen containers
Yes. Yeah.
and uh, loose change or cash. And I've washed AirPods
Oh, yeah.
and
Those are always tricky ones.
yeah, that's about it. Nothing too crazy.
That's probably a good thing. Because with firefighters, you never know what you're gonna find. So those are pretty normal.
No, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We'll start with the easier one. Last time I went hard and went easier. So we'll start with the easier one. What do the different color fire helmets mean?
Oh, the different rankings.
Yes, see, good job.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And then what are irons?
What are irons?
Hmm.
I don't know.
I didn't
Sorry,
either.
guys.
I
I
was
don't
like, you're
know.
speaking another language, honey. He says, and granted, watch, I'm going to say all these things and people are going to be like, that's not what they are. Flathead axe and a halligan. So I think it's like if you, I didn't ask him this part, but I'm imagining if they're like, go grab the irons, it's maybe those two tools. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that would
I
make
could be wrong.
sense.
Okay. And then this one, I had zero clue, and I thought he was playing a joke on me when he sent this to me. What is a taxpayer?
Like a citizen,
I know, that's what I thought. I was like,
right?
somebody that pays their taxes? No,
Yeah.
it is a type of structure where a business is on the bottom floor when the living quarters or apartment are on the second floor. I'm like, who
What?
decided that's called a taxpayer? Like, where did that come from?
I have no idea.
Me either. So anyway, those are our trivia questions. I'll have to come up with some more because people are going to get tired of them after hearing it a few times. But well, that's all I got today. So thank you for taking the time and sharing your story and sharing just what Fire Life has been for you guys and all the tips on sourdough, which is all
Yeah,
very
thank you for
exciting.
having me.
So, which also is a good question. Do you ship your bread or is
I
it just
don't
local?
ship.
Okay.
It's just local, but I have a lot of friends and family that have asked me to ship. I
Hmm.
do, funny story, since you are in Texas, I do have a friend, her husband works for the same county as my husband, and they used to work together at the same station.
Okay.
Um, she really wanted to order some bagels, and we worked it out to where I made them, sent them with my husband to work. and I think he was relieving or he was coming to the station, and my friend's husband was leaving the station. He got the bagels, flew home that morning to Texas because they live in Texas, and she
That's
got
a
her
big
bagels that
commute.
day.
Texas to Arizona.
Texas to California.
Oh, yeah, yeah, California. I forgot. That's crazy.
Hmm.
It's not a fast flight either.
No. So I did get
Okay,
her
well,
bread that
send
way,
them.
but
Yeah. Where in Texas? Is she close to Houston?
no.
Oh,
But
that won't
I
work.
could freeze it and send it to you.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot
I
of
was also
people say you
thinking
can do
like
that.
people could like buy them from you and we could give them your information, but unless their husband works in the same department and can fly on an airplane and deliver them, might not work.
It was a lot of planning.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, if anybody ever comes to Houston, you can send them, send bagels.
I will.
Awesome. Thank you for listening to Just a Girl and Her Firefighter. It would mean the world to us to have you subscribe, like, share with all the people you love, and join us in our Firewife community. Thanks again, and see you next time.